Hey guys, what's up? Today I've got a different type of video for you. I'm comparing two shoes that I really like a lot. The first one is the Altra Superior, and the second one is the Altra King MT. Both very dirty. Interestingly enough, one question that I've got several times is, what is the difference between the Superior and the King MT? There's a lot of similarities between the two of them, but they're also very different shoes. And in my mind, they can be for different applications. Okay, so just for fun, let's get a few specs out of the way. The Superior weighs 9.6 ounces and the King weighs 8.5. They both have a 6mm insole, but the King MT has a 19mm stack height and the Superior has a 21mm stack height. And you know, Altra is all about that zero drop, and both of these have that. The sole of the Superior is an EVA foam, and the sole of the King MT, which you can't really see right now because it's all covered in mud, is this new Ego compound, and it's very soft, very responsive, and kind of fluffy. One of the bigger differences is the soles. The Superior has just kind of like a regular tread, and they've had this tread for a long time. It's really good. I love it. But the sole of the King MT has this new Vgram, they call it claws, and it's actually, like, you can see, like, it really does look like claws. Just extremely good for gripping. Both of them are, but the King MT is really, really good for just gripping in really nasty conditions. Both uppers are a very thin, quick drying material. They both have everything you need to attach gaiters, which I love using. It's just a great system that Altra has with the Velcro in the back and the clips up front. It's just great. One of the biggest differences you can see is on the top, the King MT has this Velcro strap. Whoa, did you guys see that dust come off? And this really helps lock the top of your foot down so that when you're going downhill, when you're bombing those downhills, your foot doesn't move around very much. One other thing that the King MT has that the Superior does not have is this fabric right here. It's actually, they call it like shark skin, and it's made in a way so that when you're putting your foot in, it's very smooth so that you can get your foot in with a sock on. But then as you're trying to pull out, it's actually like really grip, and it's like very, very strong. This fabric just grips onto whatever is pulling it, whatever's going in the opposite direction. So that's actually really cool. Your heel slips around a lot less in these shoes. What I really want to talk about is kind of what are these shoes made for? Why would I buy one over the other? The price difference is not crazy, but it's about 30 bucks between the two of these. King MT is more expensive. The Superior is definitely made for trail running, for races. It's very lightweight. I've worn this in all kinds of trail races from 5K up to 50 miles. It's supported me really well. It's got a rock plate from the heel to the toe. It's just a great, great all-around trail running shoe. The King MT, on the other hand, is just really burly and aggressive and very, very responsive. The Superior feels like it's kind of like a glove on your foot, and it's just like, it feels like an extension of your foot. The King MT, to me, feels more like this like tool, this like utility, this like saw that you have on the bottom of your foot, and it's just like cutting through the mud, and it's really, really great for anytime that you're in sloppy conditions. So any type of mud is gonna clog up these lugs on your shoes. If it's like thick, if it's really watery mud, this shoe with the Vibram outsole and just the way the patterns are, it's really gonna shed that mud. Whereas the Superior is not gonna shed the mud as fast because it's a little bit different pattern and the surface is different. But back to the King MT. This is really great for obstacle course racers, like anybody doing a tough run or a Spartan race. I wouldn't personally wear this further than maybe 10 or 15 miles, just because the structure of the shoe is quite different compared to the Superior. The Superior, I would say, protects your foot and keeps it kind of all together more. The King MT is so flexible with this Ego outsole that you just have so much freedom. But over the course of maybe a couple hours, I could see that maybe becoming a problem for me. I would feel a little bit more fatigue in my foot than I would with the Superior. But definitely the King MT for that really sloppy stuff where you need a lot of grip, obstacle course racing, off-road, maybe an FKT attempt if it's not too long. Also like really loose rocks, I could see this doing really well. On both of these though, the cushioning is very light, but they are very different. I would definitely wear this up to 50 miles, but I wouldn't wear this past 10 or 15 maybe. So as far as durability goes, I would say that the Superior wins in that category. I've gone through probably 6 or 7 pairs of Superiors. This is my first pair of King MTs, but I've been wearing Superiors for a long time. All right, so let's wrap this thing up. I want to talk about why I would get each of these shoes. The Superior, it's one of my favorite shoes. Like, it's really just, it feels, I don't know how else to say this other than it feels like a perfect extension of your foot. The upper just fits me perfectly. The rock plate makes me feel very safe. The sole is just the perfect flexibility, in my opinion, for a trail shoe. It's thin enough that you feel very connected to the ground. You don't feel sloppy at all. It's just a perfect extension of your foot. If you've never had a trail shoe before and you're okay with maybe a little bit less of a stack height, you don't need a ton of cushion, go with the Superior. It's a great choice, and I think you'll really like it. King MT is a very specialized shoe, and I don't think this should be your first trail shoe. I think this should be maybe your second or third. I think if you're an obstacle course racer, definitely get it. I think if you're a Tough Mudder, Spartan racer, any of that kind of stuff, if you're doing off-roading, even if you're doing like adventure racing where you're trudging through just nasty stuff, I would definitely recommend this. But if you're a trail runner, I would say make this your second or third pair of trail shoes, where you can use these in certain specialized situations, kind of like those obstacle course races or Tough Mudders or Spartan races or things like that. If you're ever gonna be in some super intense mud, King MT definitely wins. If you're gonna be going over 10 or 15 miles, the Superior wins. So like I've kind of mentioned before, I think people watching this video might fall into 2 camps. You might be a trail runner or you might be an obstacle course racer. On paper, they really look alike, but when they're on your foot, they're very different shoes. They're both amazing shoes and they have huge upsides, but when you compare the two head to head, they do have their differences, and in certain situations, one does win out over the other. I'm a big fan of both of these shoes. I use them in different situations. They both have served me really well, and as you can see, I like getting them really muddy. So that's proof enough that these are awesome shoes. So that's it. I hope that I was informative enough that this video helped you. I've got some Amazon links below. Click on those. If you buy these shoes, awesome. It helps out this channel a lot. Amazon throws a little bit of spare change my way and it helps this channel out. So thank you very much. And that's it. I hope I have been able to answer the question of what's the biggest differences between these two shoes and which one should I buy? So with that, thanks for watching and I'll see you again soon. Bye.